For a half century, Van Vance was the man, and for over 4 decades at WHAS Radio, at night, you were the guy, the talk show that everybody listened to, and you saw this window of time.
Sure did. I started covering Ali a lot, actually, when he came back from the Olympics. Originally, when I saw Ali, was in the 50s on Tomorrow's Champions. There were only 2 TV stations in Louisville, black and white, and it was a little boxing show in the afternoon on Saturday, and Ed Calais did the show. And the boxers would box for about 3 innings. And every week, this kid named Cassius Clay would win. And everybody said, he's good. Well, the next thing you know, he goes eventually to the Olympics. He wins the gold medal, and he comes back to Louisville. We're interviewing him, radio, TV, and of course he became a legend. The thing about Muhammad Ali, he not only was a great, probably the best known athlete in the world in the 20th century, he was a lot more than a boxer and an athlete, but he had charisma. I like to make a little list sometimes of the most charismatic sports figures that have ever been around. He tops the list. There are others. Of course, Ernie Banks, if you've ever talked to Ernie, you've been around him, he's fantastic. I interviewed Jesse Owens, he was awesome. And then Tom Lasorda is unbelievable. Lee Corso is one of the most but Ali was at the top of the chart. And just following him, when he walked into a room, he would come to the studio or to the station, or you went where he was being covered. And when Ali walked in, the room changed, your life changed. Everything was different. He made you feel, he like Lee Corso, I was ready to go play football.
Van, no social media, no internet.
No.
How does Ali become Ali, and what was so special about him in this unique window of time when, let's face it, I mean, the world was a different place. The sports world of Louisville was different than it is now.
Well, of course, athletes there was no braggadocio, or hadn't been. Athletes didn't promote their own. He was the world's best sports promoter. After he quit boxing, he should have gone into sports promotion. So what he did, he had so much personality and charisma, as I said, is he was actually promoting his fights. And a lot of that stuff he said, all that stuff he said one time, Sonny Liston, he's so ugly he ought to be in the zoo. I mean, and these guys are going to kill him. I thought that Sonny Liston was going to kill Ali down when they fought, because when Sonny Liston just looked at you, that would have knocked me out. Did you ever see that look at that glare he had? But Ali was always talking, and he was a very sharp person mentally. He had all of this stuff memorized, and some of it just came out of his head. He was a great impromptu or whatever type speaker you want to call him.
It was an era of time where individuals had done so much nationally from Louisville. Pee Wee Reese comes to mind right away, Paul Hornung, Ali, the biggest of them. And that's just so rare to see a town of this size produce people like that, and Ali transcends everything.
Yeah, he sure does. And you know, I throw Darrell Griffith in there too, although he nationally was a champion in the NCAA, but Hornung and Pee Wee and Ali are probably 3 best known of all time. And he was known so well around the world. Pele would be the only one that would probably rival him, but he's better known, and a lot because of the Muslim world and everything knowing him so well.
Van, why was he so special and still is so special to Louisville? There's a special place in the hearts and minds and souls of Louisvillians, both from the 60s but even in 2016, about this man who did so much beyond sports.
Well, it's a youngster coming up, and his family, they worked and they had money, but you know, coming up from a meager beginning, and then businessmen, about 7 of them, getting behind him and financing him. A syndicate put him in the boxing, and then we covered him a lot here. He was on radio and TV, and he'd come back to Louisville, and you didn't have to interview Ali. You had to hold on to the mic, and then you were going to have the best show around. There's another guy now, and I'm not going to get into politics, but they like to cover him on TV because when he's there, something bombastic's going to happen. You know who I'm talking about. He's running for president right now. And Ali, you knew something was going to happen, and it was going to be the best sports show you ever had when you interviewed Ali. You let him. He was on with Milton on the radio, and one kid called him up one night and said, Ali, you ain't so tough. I think I could beat you. He said, hey, where you live, I'm going to come down there and whoop you right now.
Van Vance, a radio legend for a half century here in Louisville, and covered Muhammad Ali. Thanks for joining us.